Hi everyone, and welcome to yet another collection video. Today I'm going to be showing you the rest of my miscellaneous Barbie friends, and I'm going to have to break this up into two parts because I have about 100 random friends dolls that weren't featured in my Generation Girl video, my Scene video, or my Christy, Teresa, Kyra, and Midge videos. As always, if you want to see pictures of these dolls or if you want to read additional information about them, feel free to check out my albums on Flickr. I will link my Flickr down below. Also, a lot of these dolls are in the wrong outfits. Yeah, they're kind of just arranged based on how my inventory is listed out. And without further ado, let's get to it. So I'm going to give you a brief overview. And I'm going to stop right here after my Francie dolls where there's a gap, but this is going to be part 2. I have several Jazzy dolls now. So this is Highschool Chelsea. I got her at the flea market for $1, and the story behind Chelsea is that when I was growing up around 2003-2004, Colleen and I really got into collecting bins of dolls. So at the flea market we would go and we'd buy like whole containers, whole cases of dolls, so someone's entire collection. And I had gotten a Chelsea doll in one of those lots, but I didn't understand who Jazzy was. I didn't know who Jazzy was back then. I thought this doll was really creepy because she's got a very unique face. So I used to keep her like in a drawer where I didn't have to look at her, and then at some point, I don't know if I gave her away, if I threw her out. I really hope I didn't throw her out, but of course I felt bad just knowing that she was a doll and that happened to her. And then on top of that, when I got my Ultimate Barbie book and I realized she was a friend of Jazzy, it made me really sad. So I got her in 2013. And I'm so glad I have her now, and I treat this doll so much better, and I love and respect her. And she's very goofy looking, but she's not creepy at all. So then we have my two Teen Dance Jazzy dolls. I want to say that I got them both in lots around the same time. I got one of them, I think this was my first one. I got her with a handful of like 80s Barbies and this Jasmine doll body donor I really needed. And then I forget where I got her, but it wasn't long after. I have trouble remembering because I got them in such close succession, but they're really cute, and please excuse her hair, it needs to be redone. So then we have two Jazzy dolls over here from the Ken Suitcase lot. Actually, if you watch my second video ever on this channel, it's a behind the scenes look at beautifying flea market rescues. That's the lot that these dolls are from. That's the Ken Suitcase lot, so you can see them probably somewhere in that video in some random state of being made over. So anyways, I want to say that this is Cheerleader Jazzy and this is Beach Jazzy. But I got them both in that lot, and they're on the wrong bodies. As you can tell, I don't have Jazzy bodies. Whoever owned them before apparently didn't like them on those bodies, so I had to make do. I love them both a lot, but I really like this Beach Jazzy in particular because she's brown eyes and she just looks like the sweetest thing ever. I think she's the prettiest of all my Jazzy dolls. And then we have my Hawaiian Fun Jazzy, who actually just recently got a better looking bathing suit thing. The top she's wearing is actually a hair scrunchie that came with a Paint and Dazzle fashion pack, but it works. I bought her separately at the flea market for like $1 or $2 a few years ago, maybe 2012, 2013. And this, she was my second Jazzy doll, if I'm not mistaken, is my oldest Jazzy doll and my childhood one. This is Sun Sensation Jazzy, who I named Leanne. I got her in a lot at the flea market, presumably with my childhood Chelsea. I love her so much. I always thought she was so exotic looking, and I knew she was really special and cool. And they have like these really weird body molds that like fascinated me. So she's really special to me. I love her a lot. And then we have my 3 Shanny dolls. So these are both the 91 Ashas. They don't have like a special name, so this is the right outfit for this doll if you're wondering. So this was my first one. I got her and my son Jewel Shanny over here on the same day, and they were both my first Shanny dolls. So it was Father's Day 2012, and my dad's best friend Jimmy took us to this massive flea market to cheer us up because we had just lost Dad, and it was a really amazing day. And I found Shanny with my All-American Teresa, who if you guys watched that collection video, I mentioned her. And then not long after, I was walking around and I found her, like, her hair was all wadded up in this big mess, and I think she was wearing like fabric or tape or something as an outfit. I was so excited to find her, and I remember she was sticking out of my sister's reusable shopping bag the whole time we walked around the flea market. She's adorable. And then I found her boxed in 2014, She comes with some really cool paper pieces, and actually this skirt converts into a jacket, which is really weird looking. Then we have my Sew and Style dolls. I love the Shanny and the Sew and Style line because they're like the African American equivalents to like the Barbie line, which is super cool. I really wanted these dolls when I first got back into collecting and I saw them at Kmart, but I never ended up getting any brand new. Just first ones were these two here. So these are Pastry Chandra and Pastry Trishelle. And as you can see, she's in the wrong outfit, but she's in the right outfit. I got them with my Swan Lake Teresa doll. I think it was 2014. I was really, really excited. I love, especially Chandra. She's like so dark and beautiful, and I love Trishelle's hair. And then I got these two from the Disney store lot of 2015. So these are this is Rocawear Chandra, and this is Cheerleading Grace. She comes in a cheerleading outfit. Please excuse her hair, it needs to be redone. They're really adorable. And I also have a Darren doll who will be featured in the Ken and Friends video. Then we have my 3 12 Dancing Princesses dollies. So this is Fallon. And she was just ahead when I got her. So one of my regular flea market sellers a few years ago, we would always buy dolls from her, like my Cool Clips Barbie. So she knew how much we loved dolls, and she thought it was really cool that we collected them. And one day she gave me a big bag of like a bunch of ripped up clothes and doll parts, and she said that she knew we could do good things with them. Fallon was just ahead and her outfit was in there, so I got her a body, and voila. So then we have my 2 dolls. I want to say this is Hadley and this is Isla. I call her Isla. I think it's pronounced Isla. But I don't spell my guinea pig's name the same way as her. I spell my guinea pig's name Ayalla. But they're adorable. I got them in the Free Friday Finds lot of 2015. So one of my neighbors put out a bunch of free stuff, and there happened to be a ton of doll stuff, and that's where most of my vintage strawberry shortcake stuff came from, and my big 2006 3-story Barbie dream house. So I mentioned that in my strawberry shortcake collection video. They're adorable. And then we have my Fairytopia dolls. I have quite a few. The funny thing is, when this line came out when I was a kid, I thought that they were really creepy, and I didn't like them, and I didn't want anything to do with them, and now look at how many I have. This is Azura. She's adorable. And then this is Dandelion. Dahlia. This is the original Alina. This is another original Alina. This is the African American original Alina. Mermaid to Fairy Alina. This is Mermaidia Nori. This is Crystal. And then this is Julia. So the reason why I just said their names really fast is because I got a lot of these together. So I got Azura, Dandelion, Dahlia, my second Alina, my Mermaid to Fairy Alina, and Nori, all in the Memorial Day yard sale lot. So there was a charity yard sale, and my sister and I saw it on our way to the town dump, and there was a bunch of Barbie stuff, including our cruise ship, and in the bin there was a ton of Fairytopia dolls, and that's where most of these came from, which was really cool. Then I got Crystal and this Alina, my very first one. These 2 dolls I got, they were my first Fairytopia dolls in my collection. I got them in the Laguna bin of 2013, which was this disgusting bug-infested bin. And you can see she has like some cut hair in the front. And poor Crystal, she's my favorite Fairytopia doll. I don't know, I'm just really attached to her. She had like mold stains all over her face and under her chin, and then she's missing her thumbs, which you can't really see here. So the story too behind Crystal is that when we saw her in the bin, we weren't into collecting these, bear in mind, and we thought she was super creepy, and we were both like, oh, we can't keep this doll, she's really creepy. And then I looked at her a little bit closer, and I'm like, why do I find this doll creepy, but I have a ton of Monster High? So we ended up keeping Crystal, and I'm so glad we did. And I spent like all kinds of time like getting rid of her stains, and she's had a lot of like hair treatments and stuff. Julia over here is also from the Free Friday Finds lot, and I just bought this doll separately. So sorry that kind of went out of order, but my favorites are probably, I love Azura. She's like just the most prettiest thing ever. I also think Dandelion's really charming, and you know, I love orange hair. Then I really also love my African American Alina because she's a babe. There's something really charming and whimsical about Nori over here, and of course Crystal is my favorite. So then we have my rockers. I got a lot of these together as well. So this is 1985 Dana. I got her with my Rockers Hot Rockin' Stage, which is in my 60s, 70s, and 80s playset video. So the seller sold me that playset and then a bunch of rocker dolls for like 20 bucks, I think. And I was really excited because Dana's probably my favorite Rockers character. This was my first Barbie and the Rockers friend doll. This is the 1986 Dana, so the one that can like dance. She was from a flea market and she was in pretty bad shape when I got her. I remember her face was like really dirty and you couldn't even tell how light it was supposed to be until I washed her. And then this is also another 1986 Dana. She's from the Ken Suitcase lot. Can you see how different these dolls look? Like, she's super pretty and she's got like a really funny looking face, but I love them both. She's adorable. And then this is the original Dee Dee. So I got her with the original Dana and the original Diva right next to her. She's really cute. I love this head mold on the African American dolls, and like I said, I got Diva with her, and she's got really nice hair now. I need to redo Dee Dee's, but her hair is super nice. And then this is the 1986 Dancing Dana, Diva, sorry. I got her separately for like $1. There was this guy at the flea market in 2013 who had a big bin of really mangy looking dolls from like the 80s. And I saw her and I knew who she was and I had to buy her. And I got some of my 80s Barbies and stuff from him as well. Happy Family Grandmas. So this is the kitchen doll. I got her in the Happy Family lot of 2012. And that's why I call it the Happy Family lot, because I always wanted the grandparents, especially the African American set, because I love the African American grandma and then the Caucasian grandpa is like super adorable. That would have been my couple of grandparents as a kid. That's why I bought that lot, because I saw this grandma and I like had been stalking her forever. The birthday grandma, I bought her separately at the flea market for like $1 or $2. I was really excited to find her. I have quite a little collection here, and the story behind why I love Francie. If you must know, Francie and PJ are actually my favorite vintage friends of Barbies, and the reason for that is because I was at the flea market when I was maybe 13 with my dad, and we saw this reproduction Francie here from 1996 boxed, and I thought she was really cool looking, and my dad offered to buy me her, and I said no, I don't want her. A few minutes later we found my Francie house. It's like that vintage case house they made for Francie. I loved collecting playsets, so I had to get it. So after my dad paid for that, he said, well, you need a Francie to go in the house. So he insisted that we went back and bought this Francie doll, who I later named Sarah as an adult. And whenever I look at Francie, or I look at my Francie house, or I just see pictures of Francie dolls, I always think of my dad, and I don't know, it's like a moment in time that in that second it didn't seem like such a big deal. It was just like one of those things Dad did for me. But looking back on it, I get really emotional and I just can't help but feel this like deep-rooted attachment for Francie. So these are the bendable leg Francie dolls. I got this one first in 2013 or 2014 in this bin of like really disgusting mangy dolls that were all mostly body donors. Like, I think some were missing arms and they all had haircuts and extremely bad flaws. Like I said, I have this soft spot for Francie, so I couldn't help but want to save this doll even though she has a pixie cut. But I think she looks super cute with it, and she's in really bad shape. Like, she's got split knees, which you can tell I actually tried to patch one up, so I need to get her a different body eventually. And then she's from the Ken Suitcase lot. They're the same doll. This is what she's supposed to look like. I saw her floating around in the suitcase, and her head at the time was detached from her body, and I just wanted her despite the fact that her face is completely discolored. I just needed her in my life. But we weren't originally going to buy the whole suitcase because he said they were $2 each, and there were so many dolls that we thought it would be really expensive. So when we ended up getting the whole suitcase for 25 bucks, I was really happy because I wanted this Francie doll. And the other Loving You Barbie. So then, this is my straight leg Francie. She's in the best condition of my 3 older ones. So I got her in a little case with some Barbie clothes. I saw her in this really old Barbie case, and I thought, oh, the guy's gonna want a lot of money for her, because usually if people have old Barbie cases, they want like an insane amount of money. Or even if it's just like $20, they don't really have much in there and it's all in bad shape. But I got her and the whole case for like $5 or $6. So that was awesome. And there was like old clothes in there too. And then this is my Sunset Malibu Francie. Please excuse her really shabby appearance. She's just in bad shape. So I got her and Baggy Francie together actually on New Year's Day 2012. It was the last New Year's I spent with my dad. We went to this indoor flea market that was open, and we found this lot of 70s Barbies. We call it the 70s Barbie lot for that reason. The guy found the case, and he thought of me and my sister because we bought a lot of dolls from him at the time, and he brought it just for us, and of course we got it, and I was super excited to get my first real, like, old Francie dolls. So these were the second Francie dolls in my collection, so I love them a lot. And Baggy Francie actually has her shorts. So thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about my Barbie friends dolls. Stay tuned for part 2, which will be up tomorrow. And until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.